Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how you can load your post list page, and now that is our post list page. And into the post list page here, I define one of the button as a create. And into the create button, I already defined one of the URL, like if you go to the post list. So that is our post list page. So that is our post list page. And into the position here, you can say I just define the back and post and the create. So now we have to create this route. So for creating that route, we have to go to our web, and into this position, first of all, I just want to I just copy it, and here I just paste it. And into this position, first of all, here I just defining as a post, and then after that post, I just define the create. Okay, I just define the post and the create. So here I just define the post create. So right now I just define that our URL. And in our admin here, there is a post controller. In our post controller right now, I have to work in our create method. So here I just define that create. Okay, and then this page will be the post list, or I just define the post create, and then also I define some of the permissions, and here I define that all permission. So I think it's very much clear to you right now. Okay, so for now we have to work in our create, that means this method in our post controller. So go to the post controller. So right now we don't need this. Okay, I just remove it from here. There is also not needed. There is a navigation. There is a navigation. So here I also remove it. Okay, so now in our post controller, there is our create method. So in particular that position, first of all, here I want to work for the page name. So here I just define as a page underscore name, and for the create page I just define as a post create. So I just define that post create. So I think it's very much clear to you. And then I just want to return view. So here I just return. Okay, I just want to return and then view, and then I have to define one of the URL, like in our admin here in our post. So in our post folder, I have to create one of the file as a create. So here I just define that create. So here I just define that page name, and then I want to compact it, and into this position here I just define that compact our page name. So I just define that page name. So now we have to create this page, that means this create blade in our post, that means this folder area. So I just click on the open, click on the save as, and now I just define the create.blade.php. And this create page will be just look like if you go to that our rule. So that is a rule create, and here I just copy whole things. Okay, I just copy all things from our role create blade, and now I just paste it on particular that position. So we will customize it as per our demand. Like here there is a form, and here there is form open the URL. So URL will be our back and the post store. So here I just define that post and then the store. So that's the URL we have to create in our root directory for when we actually inserted all the data. And then the method is the post method. And here one thing, if you go to the list here, you can see that is also we have to insert the images. So for the reasons here we have to define one of the NC type on particular that position. For doing this you have to write as a NC type. So I just define that on here as a ENC type. Okay, NC type, and this ENC type will be I just defining as a multi-part. Okay, multi-part, and then the form, and after the form then the data. So here you have to defining it. This is pretty much important because here I want to insert our images also from this position. For the reasons here I just define on here is a NC type, and there's a multi-part and the form data. And then I have to define all that our field, like if you go to that position. So here our field is the title. So first of all I just define the title, so that should be the title. So here I is defining it, and also that's on the class. So text field I just defining as a title, that is the ID will be the title, and I just put that things as a null. And also here I have to actually assign our category. Like if you go to that table, okay, like here you can see that is on the category ID. So this category ID actually comes from our all the things from our category table. So here I already created one of the table as a category. So all the category will be comes on particular that position, and it will be load on particular that area. So I just want to actually defining it. So for now I just define our field as a category. Okay, I just defining as a category, so all that category will be loaded on here. So I will show you, then it will be very much clear to you what exactly the things I want to do. So that will be actually the select. Okay, so like that, that will be some of the select methods of it. I just copy it. So in our that position, so I just defining it on here. So there is a select, so then that is actually the select, and here I have to define our field name, that means database field name. So if you go to that position, database field name is the category ID. So for now here I just define that category ID. Okay, so right now we don't need this array, and now also we have to read all the data, that is category data and visible that things on here. For doing this, we have to actually work in our create, that means here. So on particular that position, I just define one of the variable as a categories. Okay, I just define one of the variable as a categories, and into this position with the category model. With the category model, I want to find out all the data which okay. So for the reasons, I just define that where, and also here I want to do one things, like I just put on the conditions. Like if you go to that table, then it will be very much clear to you what exactly the things I want to do. Like I just open that table, and into this table here you can see they have some of the option for the status, and when this status is 0, that means it's actually unpublished. Okay, so here I want to actually only show that published data. Like here if you go to that category, page, and here you can see it's now unpublished. So for now I want to actually publish it. So if you click on the published, and then if you go to your database and if you now refresh it, now you can see this status is now updated, that means the 1. So here I only want to load all that active, that means the published, all that categories. Okay, so for the reasons here I just define one of the condition as a where I just defining as the status field. Okay, status field, and here I just defining with the one value. So all that one value status will be load on particular that position, and then I just simply plugged. So I just simply plugged, and here I just want to plug that things with the name and also the ID. So here I just define that ID. Okay, so that is actually the ID. So I hope you can well understand about it, what exactly the things I want to do. So here I just get all the data with this where I just put on the condition as a where condition. Only that status field one value data you will be get, rather than it should be not visible. And then I just plug it, and then I just defining it as a name and with the ID. And here I define the category, so we have to also use it. So here I have to use, and then app, and then our category. Okay, I hope you can well understand about it. So for now here I take the things with this variable, that means the categories variable, and here I also have to pass it. So here I also pass compact our categories. So now in our create page here I want to do actually add the things on here, that is actually our categories, and into this position I just define as a null, and there is some of the class. Okay, there is a my style. So I also want to actually load one of the CK editor on particular that position, so I will do that things later. Right now there is actually this class, and then I just also define one of the data placeholder, and into this position I just define as a selected category. Okay, I just define the select category. So I just define that select category. So now we don't need this multiple, so I just remove that multiple from to this position. I hope you can well understand about it. And now also there is another field I define it on here for the short description. Okay, so if you go to our database table here, that is our field name is a short description. So I just copy it, and here I want to display as a description as a short, and then I just define that as a description. Okay, so then short description, so that will be our text area. So here I just defining it as a short description field, and also put the things as a null, and then the ID I just define short description. So I hope you can well understand about it, what exactly the things I want to do on particular that position. And also I want to define another field for the our total description, that is the long description. I just paste it, and then this one is for the description, so I just copy it, and here I just defining it on here. Okay, like there is the description. So that is actually the description, that means field name, there is a level name, and here I just define the description and the description. So these two of is the our text area. So here I just defining two of this field on particular that area, and then I just also want to define another level for the images. Okay, for now here I just define as the image. I just define that image, and also here I just define that image. Okay, and then I in particular that position this form will be the actually file type. So I just define that file, and here I just define only that image. So here I just define img, and then I don't need this. Okay, like here I just remove it, and then I just put one of the class as a from class. So right now that should be enough, and there is a data placeholder, we don't need this. So I just remove all the things from here. So here there is a level, I just define that level as an image, and here I just define that from file as a file type, and I just define as the image, and here I just define one of the class. And also here you can see before I already defined our ANSI type on particular that position. So that's all you have to do. Now let's check this out. I just click on the save all. I just click on the save all. Here I already created another route. So that is our route post and the create. So now let's check this out. If you go to that page, like that means here, and if you now refresh that page, and now go to the post this page, and now I just click on the create. Yes, you can see now there is a title, there is a short description, there is a description, and there is a images, that is the browse images. Each and every field is now perfectly loaded on here, and that is actually the category. So this category actually comes from our database category table. Like if you go to that category, and here right now they have only one category. So now I want to create another one. That is very much clear to you. Like here I just define as a mobile. Okay, I just define as a mobile. Now click on the submit. So right now that is actually I added another category as a mobile. So if you go to the post, and if you now go to the create, and here if you select category, you can see there is a two categories visible on here. But here one thing, like if you go to the category page, and here for now that is status as a 1. So right now I just want to make the things as a unpublished. So right now this is unpublished, that means this mobile is now unpublished. And here if you now refresh that page, and here you can see there's only showing as a one category. So I hope you can well understand about it. So that's the condition I just apply on here. There is a category tab, our model, and where the status, which status value will be the one, he will be load that things, okay, with the name and the ID. And here I just passed it with this variable, and in our create page in particular that position, here I just load our categories on particular that area with the select from. So I think it should be very much clear to you right now what exactly the things I want to do. So right now I just make the things as a published, and now I just refresh that page. So now if you select it, now you can see it's perfect. So now all the categories now comes from our database, and now it's loaded on particular that position. And also there is a title, there is a short description, and a description. And for the description here I already installed one of the asset for the CK editor. So if you want to load that CK editor, then you have to add some of the file, like here. So there's the script I will share with you. Okay, so here we will need the two file. So I already have that file in our vendor. There is a unzip, there is a Laravel, okay, there is CK editor and the CK editor.js. So already I have that file. So right now I want to actually add two of this script. That means two of this JS script. So that is I have to add in our create page here. Okay, so here I just add it. So right now I am actually add that things on particular that position, but here you have to actually add the things in our layouts. That means in our admin layouts, in our bottom here you can see I just added all the JSS file on particular that position. So here I just paste that thing, then you can actually access from any other pages. So right now I just added two of these JS file, and now in particular that position also they have some of the script. So I also have to add some of the script, like that is the script. So for now just copy it, and after that, okay, after that I just paste that script on particular that area. So that's all you have to do. Okay, so now if you click on the save all, and if you now refresh that page, So now it's not loaded because of actually they have some of the class. You can see that is actually some of the text area class as a my editor. So you have to actually add that class. So for now I just copy that class name and now go to that our description. So that is our description, and here that is our class. So after that, from class, here you have to define that class, that is actually my editor. Okay, so here I just defining it, and now if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, yes, you can see now our CK editor is perfectly loaded on here. I hope you can well understand about it. So that is actually our title, and here there is a short description. So CK editor is very much helpful. One of the things, like if you can actually do a lot of the things, like if you want to make that things as a blend, you can make the things as a blend. You can actually increase that file sizes. Okay, that means the text sizes. You can blend it. A lot of the functionalities you can actually insert in particular that position. For the reasons I just defining at CK editor, and I hope you can well understand about it. Here you have to assign some of the class, so that is actually my editor class, and here that is actually the script. So I will share that script with you. So you have to actually load that script, and also you have to load two of this CK editor. So right now I already added two of these in our this place, that means in our bottom, in our layout, that means the admin and the layout folder. Here there is a bottom dot blade. Okay, so it's pretty much common for the every pages. For the reasons I just assigned two of these on here. So right now if you delete it from here, then it should be work. Like I just click on the save all, because here I already assign our master. Okay, I think it's very much basic to you right now, because I already discussed a lot of the things about it. Now you can see it's perfectly loaded on particular that position. So here we successfully create our post create page. So in our next video I will show you how can insert all that value. Like here, if you put the title, you select some of the category. If you put some of the short description here, if you put some of the description, and then there's also for the image browse option. And from to this position, whatever the image you choose, like exercise file, I already assigned some of the demo picture for you. So if you click on the picture, and then if you click on the submit, then all data will be inserted in our database table. That means in our database post table. So how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.